You know how sometimes in technology we marvel that science fiction has become reality? Well, I think that's certainly true, and I know this is an antiquated kind of example. I don't know a guy, but it is true, and if you think about all these sensors and capabilities in the modern smartwatch, even just from a health standpoint, and more if you think about other advanced systems, say from Medline, which has basically the equivalent of a medical tricorder in a box, you kind of start to feel like Dr. McCoy a little bit. Feel like Dr. McCoy. But as the Starship Enterprise had Dr. McCoy doing his thing in the sick bay, what are we doing down here on Earth? Well, a lot of us are constructing home health hubs. And we know the story about telemedicine and telehealth during the season of the pandemic and the health crisis. This massively exploded for very obvious reasons. But what's happening now in the space is that we're seeing more sensors and wearables and other diagnostic tools come in to augment that. So more interactive live data streams that can be captured by the physician on the other end. So not just a bunch of talk, but actually a real data exchange. And that really levels up that level of care in telehealth. And certainly we know that telehealth is instrumental in extending care. Not everybody can get into the doctor's office. Certainly if they live in remote areas, maybe that's miles and miles, kilometers and kilometers away. Therapeutic systems, Abbott is here as another example, with a lot of advanced therapies using technology, pain management, also managing chronic disease. So this is a great example when we talk about tech making life better. If you're managing a chronic disease like diabetes, and you can have a technology solution that makes it easier, and you feel better all the time, you're healthier, and you live a longer life, that needs no explanation. That's amazing to see. And digital therapeutics in full force at CES this year. But it's not just about managing chronic disease or our visits with our doctors. It's also about health, fitness, really, and as part of the home health hub, and all kinds of connected health equipment and so forth. And here's another recurring revenue subscription service in some cases, but it all adds up to this home health hub that we're starting to see, not just here in the States, but really around the world being formulated. And I can go on and on and on about innovation in health tech, but let me just focus very quickly on three areas that I've really alluded to. The on-demand network around telehealth and these advanced sensors combining for an elevated experience. One particular use case where this is phenomenal is in remote patient monitoring. The old way, after you had your operation or procedure, you were obliged to spend so many days in the hospital. Not anymore, potentially. You can, with technology and these on-demand networks and sensors, you can be monitored from the comfort of your home. And nobody wants to spend 1 minute longer than they have to in the hospital. Am I right? So this is a great example of tech innovation and a new frontier. Mental wellness is another. So stress, anxiety management, also monitoring regression. And I want to make an important point here. In this case, with mental wellness, technology is not a substitute for the advice of a counselor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, physician, whatever. It's really meant as a tool for monitoring and help in between visits, helping stay on track with that therapy from a counselor or psychologist.